How long will it take to set up trust and LLCs with DAG? You have mentioned waiting a bit. LLC is very quick. We normally can spin up an LLC in 3 to 5 business days, sometimes a lot faster. Wyoming immediately files it. Like, they don't even wait. What we're waiting on most of the time is the IRS and the EIN back from the federal government. 2 to 3 days is most of the time the turnaround on that. We are processing a pretty significant volume right now, as you can imagine. I think we've already done about 300 LLCs this month for people. And we've got it automated. We've got it set up with our provider and our law firm and our paralegals to make sure that all this is done the right way. Again, if you want to use that, what's the LLC listed under? It's in Wyoming is where it's filed. And the reason we file it in Wyoming is 3 reasons. One, you get attorney-client privilege in Wyoming, so none of your information is listed on the LLC. The registered agent's address is there. The legal firm that will be used, that's whose name is there. So if anybody tries to figure out who's associated with it, very difficult to do. Also in Wyoming, you get a lot of same protections that you would get in Nevada. It almost acts like a trust if you keep the corporate veil intact, and so it makes it very difficult for anybody to pierce that as long as you have your meeting minutes and everything else done and the operating agreement structured the right way. They won't be able to pierce it. They can put a charging order against it, but they can't get your assets, right? Which is what we want. We want protection. Additionally, beyond that, the regulatory environment there in Wyoming is the best suited here in the U.S. for any business to do with digital assets. So we set up a holding company that manages your alternative investments, and it specializes in crypto. It's not a crypto trading company. Please don't set that up. If you're looking at the NAICS code, it's going to be 551112 or 551114 as a holding company to manage consulting services or alternative investments. Okay. You want to set up a single member. That's how we do it. So there's no tax implications for people when you move your assets in there. If you do a limited partnership, you're going to get taxed. You're going to change the basis and time frame. Make sure it's single member. Okay. I'm just going to tell you guys how to do this. If you want to go do it yourself, you can, or you can pay us the $2,000, and we do everything for you: registered agent, EIN, articles of organization, certificate of good standing, virtual office for your mail, so you maintain anonymity when people are mailing you stuff. We have the corporate veil, ongoing maintenance. We have the operating agreement template for you, and a step-by-step process on how to move the assets in there. Benefits on the LLC, you can write off the gains that you have. So if you go to sell some assets, and depending on how you spend or appropriate those funds, you'd be able to offset those taxes inside of an LLC. You're also able to set up key employee insurance. We help you set up PPLI or private placement insurance out of the LLC and fund it in kind with the assets is what we're currently working on. We're working with a group out of Barbados to be able to structure those policies. We have the best estate planners and CPAs in the world, in my opinion, when it comes to digital assets, specifically here in the U.S. and in other jurisdictions that we're partnered with to be able to help facilitate this for you guys and do it the right way, where you're not going to get in trouble with the IRS or audited. You may get audited, but you're not going to have any problems. Unlikely you'll get audited unless you're doing some sketchy stuff. But anyway, there's lots of reasons. Also, if you wanted to gift assets out of the LLC into a trust, then you can smush that value down if it's inside of an LLC. So how do you do that? Well, you use a single member to get it started, and then you're going to gift small portions of equity to people that you know, like, and love and want to take care of. Now you have minority interest on the cap table, and with that minority interest, it makes it much more difficult to sell the corporation, and therefore it devalues it. So even if the assets inside the corporation are worth $50 million, you're probably only going to get 70% of that value in the valuation, so now it's only worth 35, right? And so now you can get way more of those assets into a trust if you wanted to gift them out of your taxable estate. The lifetime gift tax threshold here in the U.S. is $13.99 million per person. So between you and your spouse, you get almost $28 million that you can gift out of your taxable estate. This person asked, Jake, once joining DWP, how long does it take to onboard with Anchorage? Do you have to do it right away? The offers that we have right now, so I'll give you guys those. If you have over 425,000 XRP and you fund your account by Saturday, we're going to lock you in at 20 basis points. We've been running this promotion for a whole month. I'm sorry if you're just now hearing about it. We had a webinar for people with more than 500,000 XRP and talked about the billionaire strategies for people that are going to be billionaires on the other side of price appreciation for XRP. PPLI, foundations, a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff I just mentioned here. Borrowing against your assets as they continue to accrue value over time, infinite banking, how that's set up. We have the capability to do that with your digital assets, which is the golden goose, right? It just keeps raining golden eggs for you forever. Is how we set this up. Same way the Rockefellers and other family offices that you're probably familiar with have established things to be able to protect their assets, allow them to grow over time, and continue to borrow against them tax-free at low interest rates and deploy that into cash-flowing assets to continue to compound their wealth. We're here to help you do that. We want to be your partner in that. Anybody that has